No, I got what I wanted, but not the way I actually wanted. Yeah, that's the best way to describe season 3 of Jellystone, because this season was a ride. I mean, it really went to the next level of insanity. Because some things they show you that you wanted reinterpreted a different way that you're not expecting that actually could work or not work. One of the big examples is the Jetsons. In fact, the first episode they show you introduce their version of the Jetsons was sort of kind of surprising. It's still the same as the Jetsons. If you don't know who the Jetsons are, think of it sort of like the Flintstones, but futuristic, but a little bit more kind of family traditional sort of sitcom. And that's basically the Jetsons. It never was A-lister sort of kind of roster of Hanna-Barbera. They always been between B-listers and A-listers because they're very iconic. You can recognize them automatically how they actually look. You know where they're from. But it's one of those shows you can't really say much about it because it's the Jetsons. It's just super safe. Never nothing really clever to do anything. Just the comedy of futuristic. But I love how Jellystone sort of kind of introduced them. They're sort of the ones who kind of activated in the world, but it's not their fault. It's because their robot Judy that kind of went mad because a Yogi sort of pushed her on the line to make sort of world conquest. But once again, that was sort of kind of fun to see how they introduced the basic Jetsons because it sort of feels refreshed. It feels more different, yet still being the same Jetsons. In fact, not that them, there are also other characters that I was sort of surprised how they use twist now words like Scooby Doo, Hong Kong Phooey, and Space Coast to Coast. But before I get started, my name is Rachel. I like to talk about animation, not just animation. I like to do reviews, first impressions, cartoon theories, and sometimes I have some spare time, cartoon breaking news. Of course, you'll like where this is going. It really helps my channel if people like, comment, and subscribe. One of the things really helps my channel because let's face it, I am a small channel. Any little things like that, any one of those three really helps to really boost my channel. But besides that, let's start the review. Now, Jellystone Season 3, I do appreciate it. It was super fun and super great, especially one of my kind of favorite episode of this season. It's all about Yogi and Boo Boo who don't want to do their job, they run away, but they went away in a, not a circus, sort of a amusement park. Because that whole episode using the amusement park is basically one big ass reference of the Scooby-Doo sort of genre. I mean, Scooby-Doo, if you don't know, Hanna-Barbera has a lot of Scooby-Doo ripoff, and they use a lot of cliches of that ripoff, repeating the same thing. You mean using the same voice actors, using other different teams of especially teen detectives, their own talking dog. But I love it that sort of making fun of it, but instead of making fun of it, they reverse everything in a different point of view of Yogi and Boo Boo, how they come across this sort of amusement park, how they use the costume to scare the kids, how they trying to get away their own problems just to have a day off, but they all have a very unique point of view of the villain. And you introduce this sort of Scooby-Doo ripoff of the Ghost Chasers, or I think that's called the Ghost Chaser because the team they use, I really don't know much about them. I've seen the dog they use, Goober, I think is his name, this sort of spiritual ghost the kids follow. But I love that the main leader or their version of Fred, they is sort of jealous of Scooby-Doo and they reference Scooby-Doo, also all the knockoffs. But I feel that's sort of refreshing and unique that I kind of surprised that Hanna-Barbera never make a sort of self-parody of themselves making fun of the genre they created. The sort of teen detective magical talking dog or animal companion. And I love that this sort of approach really stands out of this season. It's just so refreshing, funny, and unique. But also introducing Scooby-Doo in the first time in this series because they used the original voice actors, or at least the people who are still alive, to place their own characters, but with the twist, it's not them, it was someone else pretending to be the Scooby Gang. And that's sort of weird. That's why at the very beginning, you get what you wanted, but not the way you wanted it. It's just strange, off, over the top, it feels like Jellystone. And I really appreciate that just having fun with it, especially that Pacific episode. I mean, really Pacific, because that episode make fun of every single tropes of Scooby Doo. The walking around the same area, but you just see the background, the same art over and over, walking through the doorways, walking through the same painting, or using all the doors crossing back and forth. But once more, having very clever ways to making fun of it and make aware if you're a fan of Hanna-Barbera. They're sort of cliches you've seen 100 times, but done so well you also make fun of it. Because usually every time they attempted to make fun of that cliches, they sort of fall flat because they so much had been said of those cliches, the cleverness sort of runs out. So for Jellystone, they keep figuring out fun ways to execute their sort of cliche sort of jokes. It's just so enjoyable and clever. Of course, I do enjoy, I think, the best episode with Jabberjaw. Everything with Jabberjaw and Loopy, their two ladies steal the show all the time. If not them, it's Top Cat. One or the other. In fact, I'm surprised none of them yet have their own spin-off version of that, because there's two teams can easily hold their own show, even having their own unique voice if they attempted to try some. But besides that, it was sort of kind of surprising. Now, the top of thing I want to talk about in this review is sort of Hong Kong Foy, because I am adoring Hong Kong Foy. You ever heard of that character of Hanna-Barbera? He's basically a Darkwing Duck. In fact, before Darkwing Duck was a thing, there was Hong Kong Foy. He's a sort of selfish, kind of honorable, who doesn't know what he's doing, likable, charming cheeseball of a hero that just so surprising that Hanna-Barbera never really made a franchise of this character, because the potential is sort of limitless in the interpretation. You could do so many things. But at the same time, I'm surprised how Jellystone reinterpreted him as a anime character. Once again, it's just sort of surprising how they went take this iconic character and filter off sort of a comedy lens. Like, introduced him as sort of a anime character from Japan who does every single trope of a Jonin Jump sort of cliche, power friendship eats a lot. He's a master of martial arts. But what's more, that sort of what Hong Kong Fu is was set for not stop eating. He's not his thing, but you get the idea. They use all the tropes sort of to compare who is Hong Kong Fu. But yet, I'm sort of disappointed, but at the same time glad he reappears, because at least I have something to be satisfied. Even though it sort of does two of my favorite things, anime and Hong Kong Fu together, and yet it's just so weird and ironic and interesting. I'm not completely upset. In fact, if you're a Hong Kong Fu fan, tell me down below. You feel disappointed he reappears this way, or you hoping they reintroduce him a different way later on? Tell me down below, let me know. To me, I feel satisfied, even that that's probably the closest thing I can have. But yet, it's just a fun ride, because this season just tries so hard to do so many things, like introduce old characters and new characters you've seen before, like what's that character name? That Dick Dastardly. There we go. That that sort of villain they have from Scoop, from the movie Scooby Doo, or Wacky Racers. He actually appears one of the episodes in this series and use him as a villain. I mean, that was the whole point with his dog Monthly, but how they introduce him feels right. I feel he's the only one never been really messed with. They trying to make him true to who he really is. He's an asshole. He likes to one-up everyone. He's a bad guy. He's enjoyable. And I feel they give him so much respect that I feel they couldn't do anything unique with them, and they decide to play it straight. I feel that's sort of kind of weird, but yet it sort of makes sense. The most iconic character they have of this roster, Pacific this season, you know you cannot really mess with it that much, because that character is just so iconic. You can't really do much or reverse the script of that character. And I'm fine with that, because Dudley is just a very good villain, very funny villain. In fact, every time they introduce this character a different medium. They keep him as he is because he's just so iconic and likable. And I do apologize, I'm tripping on my own words because it's sort of hard to say things that is have been said before, or I'm just sort of hyper or my mind's not yet completely focused because it's still too early in the morning. But besides that, how you felt season 3? Do you like it? Do you hate it? Tell me down below. Let me know. Honestly, I got nothing else to say. Just thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and have a wonderful day. Bye.